There's a look at a man ready to come back into the ring again. A workaholic who's in the ring every couple of months. James Buddy McGirt, #1 ranked welterweight contender in the IBF. And our co-main event, James Buddy McGirt and Charles Baez coming up. There's a look at James, 1982, and has lost just twice in 51 bouts. Most recently, he has campaigned as a welterweight and has exhibited boxing organizations. But still, his name is conspicuously absent from the upcoming plans in the 147-pound division. Still, Buddy McGirt retains his pride, his work ethic, and his goals. Like many old-time fighters he compares himself to, he must wait for the opportunity to go after a title shot and not getting one.
Not at all. It just gives me more incentive to work harder and to get the championship back.
If you had your choice, would you take Breland, Brown, or Starlin?
Doesn't make a difference, really, because if I pick one, the other two feel left out.
Have you ever considered changing your style, becoming more exciting to lure a big payday?
Not at all. I do something different every time. It's just that it doesn't catch the people who like the Camachos and Baez type of guys.
Are you still obsessed with Meldrick Taylor?
Well, basically, I'm just waiting for him to come to 147. If he comes up there, we get it on. If not, I come to Philly one day and we get it on.
Buddy, how do you do it? Remain busy, fight every couple of months.
Well, when you got a lot of bills to pay and a family to support, you got to do something, right?
Good luck tonight. Rapidly increasing entourage as he makes his way to the Imperial Ballroom ring at the Trump Plaza. Buddy McGirt making his 52nd ring appearance as a professional. It's a lot of fight skill.
Well, you know, that's the kind of guy they improve all the time. Get better, they get better, he gets more experience. Instead of just sitting back and pouting and saying, no, I should get a title fight, so I'm going to show everybody by not fighting. That's not the right mental attitude, and Buddy does have the right mental attitude. Keep busy, keep knocking these guys off.
And keep earning along the way.
That's absolutely right. You know, he's a family man, Buddy, and he certainly can use these paydays.
He's a family man. He's also an old-fashioned fighter, still drives the pickup truck, and still lives in the gymnasium. McGirt's opponent tonight from Puerto Rico, Guaynabo, Puerto Rico, is Charles Baez, who is 18-4-1 as a pro, but has fought just twice in the last 3 years, once in '88, once in '89. He's been in college over in Puerto Rico in the Interamericana University and has 2 years to go to get his degree in psychology. So, Gil, do you think the lack of recent experience is going to pose a problem for Baez?
Well, I think that any welterweight in the world is going to have a problem with a Buddy McGirt. And a guy that's been inactive and hasn't been in that top flight guy certainly should have a problem with Buddy McGirt.
Right now for a special tribute to a great former champion. Let's go up to ring announcer Ed Derry.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce the principals for this evening's main event, you know, as is a tradition in the boxing fraternity, when individuals pass on, we have the final count out. In this particular case, some of you are well aware that longtime boxing trainer, best known for his work with some of America's Olympic champions, Pappy Galt, passed on. And most of the world is well aware that another fine individual has passed on. A living legend, or he was a living legend, former middleweight champion of the world, Rocky Graziano. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to ask the fans here in attendance at the Trump Plaza to please rise as our timekeeper at the bell, Lindsay Tucker, will toll the bell for the final time for Pappy Galt and former middleweight champion of the world, Rocky Graziano. Thank you.
Rocky Graziano, who died at the age of 71, born as Thomas Rocco Barbella on New York's Lower East Side.
Rocky was just such a great character. He was the only guy that could walk along the street in New York. Taxi drivers would pull over, jump out of the cabs. Truck drivers, all shaking Rocky's hand. And he was such a gregarious guy. He loved them all, and they loved him.
He was so successful as a professional, Gil, becoming a world champion, elected to the Boxing Hall of Fame, but perhaps so well known in recent years as an author, a guy who was in commercials, a real popular guy with many of the fans.
Just an ambassador of goodwill for boxing. That's exactly what Rocky Graziano was.
Right now, let's go back to ring announcer Ed Darian.
From the beautiful Imperial Ballroom here at the Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino on the boardwalk, Atlantic City's centerpiece, Madison Square Garden Boxing proudly presents this evening's main event. A scheduled 10-round welterweight bout. 10-round welterweight bout. Referee Rudy Battle. And now, my good friends, introducing the principals. First, in the blue corner, wearing the green trunks with the gold trim. He tipped in at an even 150 pounds. This young pugilist has 18 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, with 17 knockouts. All the way from Guaynabo, Puerto Rico. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the Trump Plaza, Charles Baez. Baez. And his opponent in the red corner, wearing the blue trunks with the white trim. Now, he tipped in at 147 3/4 pounds. This fine young man has 48 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, with 38 knockouts. The former International Boxing Federation Junior Welterweight Champion. He is currently ranked number 1 by the IBF, number 2 by the WBC, and number 5 by the WBA. From Brentwood, New York, ladies and gentlemen, here is James Buddy McGirt. McGirt.
Okay, gentlemen, you both received your pre-fight instructions. Let's have a nice, clean contest. Shake hands.
Non-title fight. Rules of the New Jersey State Athletic Control Board in effect. 10-point scoring system. 3 knockdown rule in effect. Standing 8 count in effect. Ringside position has the authority to stop the fight. The bell cannot save a boxer in any round, including the last round.
You know, Bruce, we mentioned that Baez had a puncher's chance. Here's a guy that's won 18 fights, 17 by knockouts. So one thing he must be able to do is punch.
Baez handled by Felix Pintor, former world-ranked welterweight. Out of Puerto Rico, trains there, lives there. Came over once before to the United States, Gil, and was very successful in a win over Courtney Hooper in New York, just when Hooper was moving up.
Well, that's quite some time ago, but Courtney Hooper was a hot prospect at the time and became a good, solid 10-round pro.
That was back in July of '86. Buddy McGirt comes off the victory over Tommy Ayers less than 2 months ago.
And you can just see Buddy, he's not throwing any punches, he's moving around. Baez just looking to try to figure him out, get the key.
McGirt 7-0 as a welterweight and has registered consecutive knockouts early in the last 2 fights. Rudy Battle, 3rd man in the ring.
You know, I don't like that jab to the body, Bruce, because the guy can throw that right hand right over that left hand. Gets in a lot of trouble. But Buddy has a reason why he's throwing that, no question about that. Figures things out pretty good, but still is a dangerous punch.
McGirt with a solid left, followed up by the straight right.
How slick McGirt is. Look at these moves, side to side, makes you miss punches. Just staying a little bit out of range. Look, every punch Baez misses by an inch, 2 inches. That's a solid throw. You know, Bruce, if a guy starts to throw a punch and you jump 8 feet back, that's no good because then you can't hit him. But he keeps you in punching range, and he makes you miss. That's a solid professional fighter.
McGirt's been real confident with the left hook thus far.
Well, he sets it up. Sets everything up, throws that jab, and all of a sudden he switches.
Baez landed a couple of jabs, but then ate some leather, a straight right from McGirt. Final seconds of round 1, scheduled for 10. Back in Atlantic City, New Jersey. This the second round of a 10-round welterweight bout between James Buddy McGirt in the blue trunks with the white trim and Charles Baez in the green trunks with the yellow trim. Gil, the first round, take away the first 40 seconds by McGirt just feeling things out, looking to pick his spots, and then the last 220. Was that textbook?
Absolutely textbook. Making the other guy miss and countering. He keeps right in punching range, but he makes those beautiful short little moves. You have to really watch closely to appreciate a Buddy McGirt. Because when he makes a guy miss, they miss by 1/4 of an inch.
Buddy McGirt, the former IBF junior welterweight champion. Won the title from Frankie Warren, lost the title to Meldrick Taylor, same year, 1988. Now has moved up to welterweight and is comfortable at 147. Although he's been the odd man out in the welterweight picture, with Starling, Freeland, and Brown not looking to McGirt at all right now.
Buddy's found a home for that left hook, and he sure is using it.
Baez takes the lead.
Look at that move, Bruce. Look at Buddy McGirt spin off the ropes, trap his man on the ropes.
Solid body blow by McGirt.
Textbook boxing.
Big right hand followed by the left hook by Buddy McGirt. His 2 punch combinations been outstanding. Another crunching left hook.
And Baez, to his credit, takes some punch, and usually punches don't take the best punch.
McGirt really loading up in that left hook. Another left hook. Gilder's short and crisp.
Everyone on the mark. And again, it's because he keeps the other fighter within punching range. He's never too far away from your buddy.
Big left hand, McGirt. And Baez continues to stand somehow. Now McGirt has him in trouble. Another left hook. Baez in trouble, goes down off the right. And it's all over. Rudy Battle has waved off the fight. Charles Baez on Queer Street, and McGirt rolls on.
Bruce, that was about as beautiful a boxing and punching performance as I've seen in a long time. But it probably means that Buddy stepped another step backward to getting a title fight, because when these guys see the film of this fight, nobody's going to want to fight him.
It did not take long. 2 rounds of work. And for the 3rd straight fight, McGirt has knocked out an opponent in the first 3 rounds.
But the way he did it, Bruce, it wasn't one punch, it wasn't a swing, it wasn't a lucky punch. He just dissected his opponent. Let's take a look at the ring generalship of Buddy McGirt. There's his back is on the ropes. Now watch what happens. Whoop, look who's on the ropes, his opponent. It's just that quick. He makes these subtle little moves. Now let's take another look at Buddy here. There, he slips the punch. You see how much, Bruce, that punch missed him by maybe 1/4 of an inch. That's what kept him within punching range.
Now the end of the fight. Everything on the button.
Right on the button. And now watch Buddy's feet, how he gets himself right back into. Now watch him skip. See him skip back there? He's in punching. There's a little skip again. Otherwise, you can't throw those left hooks. That's what we mean about the legs of a fighter.
Multiple shots.
And beautifully executed.
James Buddy McGirt improves to 49-2-1. Let's go up to ring announcer Ed Darian.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Rudy Battle stops this bout at 2 minutes and 45 seconds of the second round, and a winner by a TKO, James Buddy McGirt. McGirt. And a nice round applause for James Baez. That's the applause.
James Buddy McGirt, ranked number 1 by the IBF, number 2 by the WBC, number 5 by the WBA. He wants a title shot. He might get one, but as Gil Clancy said moments ago, who would want to take on a Buddy McGirt right now? We'll take a short break and we'll come back and talk to James Buddy McGirt when we return. At the Trump Plaza in Atlantic City, James Buddy McGirt made quick work of his opponent tonight, Charles Baez. You know, 1990 has been the year of the second round KO for McGirt. First Miguel Santana, January 26th. Then Tommy Ayers, March 31st. And now tonight, Charles Baez. And McGirt was so efficient and so powerful in the fight. I want to talk about the term boxer-puncher. Well, that's the term you have to use tonight to describe McGirt, who was both. He's standing by with Gil Clancy. Gil?
Congratulations, buddy. You know, let me tell you something. This guy Al Serto here and Howie Albert, they always tell me, they said, you know, you've never really seen the real Buddy McGirt. You should see him in the gym. He takes you back to the old-time fighters, the Emil Griffiths, guys like that. He can do everything. Keep telling me that and telling me that. Well, tonight, buddy, I finally saw the real Buddy McGirt. This was a perfect performance for a fighter. You were terrific tonight.
Thanks a lot, Gil. I would like to say that this fight, you know, they say I dedicate to Rocky Graziano, but there's two special people I got to dedicate this to. One is Al's daughter, Sandy, and another for him, because he was having a lot of problems at home, and this man stuck by me every day. He was there in the gym with me. I want him to know that I love him and his whole family.
Sandy, I love you, baby.
Anyhow, buddy, we're talking about boxing, a classic performance. The things that you were doing in there today, people just don't see, and I was trying to point them out to the general public. The idea of a boxing is to make the other guy miss, but not miss by a mile, have him miss by an inch so that he's in position for you to counter. And that's what you kept doing all night. Just a beautiful performance of slipping punches and getting yourself in position to punch.
Thanks, Gil. Well, I learned from the old fighters, like when I'm at our shop, Joe Walcott comes down, Willie Pep, and Joey Giardello. They all come down, and I ask questions from the guys, and I put it all together. I go back to my apartment, and I practice on it, and I go back to the gym, and it all works.
You know, Gil, excuse me. He really learned the trade good. You know, we got 50. This is our 52nd fight, but the problem is we ain't got no money. You know, what do we do with all the talent we got? They don't want to fight us out there. There's 3 champions out there that claim they're champions, but nobody wants to step in the ring with this guy.
Well, you know, I'll tell you the truth, Al. Buddy had a great win tonight. He's learning. He's 52 fights. He gets better every time out. But I think this fight probably hurt him, because if any of these guys, Simon Brown, Starling, and Breland, saw this fight, I don't blame them. They're not going to want to fight him. What about that?
Well, I tell you one thing. The New York people and the public should demand the fight with Breland. Here's a guy that claims that he's a champion, but he's lucky he won that title from 4 turkeys that he fought.
Well, anyhow, the rankings are what count. He's number 1 in the IBF.
Well, yeah, what does it mean? Doesn't mean nothing. We got 52 fights. We're broke. We're looking for a title fight, and let's hope we can get it.
Well, hey, if you are number 1, they're going to have to give you that mandatory. He's going to have to get the title fight, Al. A little more patience, one more fight, and I think he's going to be fighting for the title.
I think so.
Okay, buddy, you were just great tonight. I really appreciated that boxing lesson. Now let's go back to Bruce at ringside.
Thank you, Gil. So 11 in a row for James Buddy McGirt since the lockdown.